Hello, this is Sebastian Griffin Day Kian Guan. Now, today also I would like to talk a little bit about Myanmar and also my family. My family, actually, my mother's side from Resort World Genting, Lim Pek San, Esther Lim Pek San. I have disowned both my parents, my mother and father. Reason being, it's obvious. My mother's side, they are having a very fierce family feud in terms of inheritance rivalry. And my father's side, they are communists, and they are not only communists as in like those in China. Now, China, the political system in China right now is in fact is actually not as bad as many as perceive. I would say, because despite they are communists, they are somehow more liberal in the public sector. But I mean in the private sector. In the public sector, they are still communists. But my father's side of the family, they are communists. They are communists in the sense that they are almost like during Mao Zedong time, during the Maoist communist era. So that is the problem. Now, what happened is that you see, I do not know any of the girls that have my children's, whether it's Yutong's mother, which I believe related to the Myanmar government, the junta government, which is probably one of the general daughters. I do not know her, and I do not know how she got my children's, which is Tae Yutong. And then there's Carol Top, and then also uh, another one is Singapore, from Singapore, which also probably also related to the Myanmar junta government, probably one of the junta government. Now, I believe my foster father, Tay Kah Seng, they are related to the Myanmar government. They are probably communists or socialists that related to the junta government. And then another girl is YTL. Now, I'm not sure about YTL background. YTL, they are actually based in Malaysia, but they do have a lot of businesses in communist countries such as China and also Vietnam. Now, I am not interested about their to interfere their business or their personal life, but what I want is my children's, and also freedom. Freedom in the sense that I do not want them to treat me like a slave. Now, the modus operandi of these communists or the military junta government modus operandi, their way of doing things is that they do not have a sense of private. They do not know what is private property ownership. They also enslave people, like what happened in the Cultural Revolution and also the Great Leap. During the Great Leap, the Mao Zedong, or the premier back then was Mao Zedong. Mao Zedong indirectly cost more than 72 million Chinese people life, because I think most of it during the Cultural Revolutions, during this, they call it the Great Leap, the industrializations of China. 42 million people die as a result of his way of doing things. Now, basically, it's an enslavement. Now, why communists cannot work is that they are they are not paying people. They are enslaving people. Like what happened to me right now. The things right now to me is that they do not want to give me identity. I do not have a passport. I do not have an ID. But they want me to do things for them first. They want my knowledge. They want what I my planning, everything. Then only and they do not want to pay me. You see, I have not received payment. The things with communist government that I believe democratic countries such as US and the those Europe countries have to come out and curb this problem, have to come out and fight the communists, because the communist government, they are not aware of a human right such as private property ownership and copyright. You see, I'm not willing, to be honest, if you ask me whether I'm willing to contribute to Myanmar or not, I'm not willing to contribute to Myanmar. I'm not willing to share my knowledge or to do my planning or to help them to manage. The problem with the military government is that the militant are lack of knowledge, and they do not want to pay. They do not want to give private enterprise, private company profit. So what they do is that they have some sort of pheromone, and they will use that pheromone to extract information. Now all these information extractions should only be done when somebody is being accused of crime, heavy crime, or during interrogations. Not innocent people like me. I was being persecuted in Malaysia. As a result, I fled to Thailand, and this is my predicament. I'm in Thailand. I'm actually seek refuge. I actually seek political asylum for many countries. Now Thailand do not want to help me because actually Thailand do not want to provide me citizenship, probably because the third, probably many reasons. First is that my relationship with Yutong's mother complicate the matter, because Yutong's mother belong to one of the probably a very prominent Myanmar general family. So probably Thailand cannot provide me citizenship because of that. And also my father's side of the family are communists. That complicate a lot of things, despite I already disown them. Now my father's side also the same thing. They want me to, now previously they have there's incident in there's an incident where there's a bloodshed in Nanyang Hotel in this Jalan Petaling. This Petaling Street actually in Chinatown, Kuala Lumpur, Chinatown. The same thing happened where my grandfather called me. I never met him, but he called me. He noticed I'm actually written something, some suggestions. He want my materials. He want my script, what I suggest, my planning, but without payment, without recognize my roles, without payment. Actually, I'm not asking them to recognize recognize me as any title. I'm not asking any title from them. I'm not asking any remuneration or any compensation from them. That is my volunteer works. Because I can't find a job during COVID times, I normally work in Singapore. I cannot find a jobs. I do not want to work in Malaysia because a lot of things, because of wrong reasons. And even in Singapore, I was also succumbed to attack by my cousin. And this my communist side of the this father family, my grandfather called me. He want my works, but without payment, without any contract. Now there is no contractual relationship. That I do not even know him. He has never give any financial aid or provide any financial benefit to me. There is nothing. I do not know this person. No education, no love. In fact, until right now, I do not know his name. I do not know my fathers. I do not know who is my father. I only know they are related to Tan Kah Kee, a prominent communist person. So this is the problem I'm facing with these communist people. So their mentality until right now is still the same. During communist era, they are not the communists in China now. China actually are more liberal in the sense that sector private sector, you do business, you contribute, you create a value, they will pay you according to your value. Whether you are working in a company where you work for people, a wage earner, you create certain value to the company and then they will pay you. Or you open your own business, and you open your own business, whether it's a consultancy firm or you produce a product as a manufacturer, you create a value in exchange for money. So that is the kind of arrangement. But as for me, in terms of even my own identity, they are depriving my own identity. You see, even in Malaysia, my birth certificate is fabricated by the Malaysia government. The Malaysia government actually conspire with my family members, with my father's side of the family, which is the communist, in order to fabricate a fake certificate, a fake birth certificate. That means my citizenship actually also fake. And they also refuse to grant me passport, so that I am confined in Malaysia, that I am not able to exit Malaysia. So that is the reason why I need to flee Malaysia. I fled Malaysia from the North Malaysia, entered into Thailand border without any passport, without anything, because I do not have passport. I've been to Malaysia immigrations office many times, from the normal office UTC, many of the UTC, until the Jalan Duta headquarter in Kuala Lumpur, and also finally ultimately to the Jalan Duta, the ministry office, many times, and they refuse to give me a passport. The reason being is simple: they want to confine me, they want to stop me from speaking out. They also steal my phone, they also damage my computers, all the electronic gadgets. So this is how this is the kind of persecution that I'm facing in Malaysia. And also, I believe Malaysia are working closely, are conspiring with my father's side of the family, which is the communists. They are asking me to do a lot of things, planning all this for the countries without any payment. As you may know, I'm living in a very in a poor conditions. Now, my father's side, my father, they are billionaires. My mother also billionaires. Now, my mother are more on a private sector than a public sector. But my father's side, they are also operating businesses, private businesses that own money. But the thing is that they are tangling with the communists. They are actually promoting communism. They are sort of like underground government operating throughout Southeast Asia, particularly Singapore and Malaysia. So they have a lot of, they have a very substantial influence in Singapore and also Malaysia. In China, they call Nanyang. Nanyang means South Oceans, the southern region, which I believe whether Singapore or Malaysia, they are not politically related to China at all, despite they are quite substantial Chinese population. Most Chinese ethnic or Chinese population in these two countries, they are not communists. They are not related to communists. They do not believe in communism. But somehow there are infiltrations from, for example, my father's side. And I do not know my father, even until right now, I do not know them. But my foster father, Teh Seng, he is probably related to Myanmar. Probably related to Myanmar general, the militant, or the this royal family. I do not know them. Now, I also do not know them well, but I know my foster father, Teh Seng, better than my own biological father. And of course, I do not approve these girls to be with me. I do not know them. I'm just I just want to be with my children. I know because my children, I have a very good relationship with them. So you see, I do not mind to help Myanmar thrive, but I have to also say this: I do not receive any compensation out of this, and this is also what they want. They want to enslave me. What I contributed actually far more valuable. The value that I created is far more valuable than those general. Those general, actually, I do not agree to have a junta government. Junta government means a government that rule by the militant or military personnel. The militant are ruling the country. I do not agree because they are not trained. They are not trained to handle complicated or civilian life, civilian politics, and also their knowledge and managerial skills, their way of conduct their business or their operations are only meant for security purposes, not for civilian. Civilian have a civilian lifestyle. We do not want to be treated like an army. And also, we do not want to be enslaved. Like my case, I do not want to be enslaved by the militant army. They have no brain. They do not know anything. They do not know engineering. They do not know medicine. They do not know anything. They just want to use their power, their force, their violence, or their they just want use their force in order to intimidate and threaten commoner or threaten smart people in order to do work for them. This is not how it works. Without freedom, the country will not thrive. Now, today I'm very good. I will give good suggestion for Myanmar, but they are also, if I do not have freedom, I will also give some suggestion with rhetorical uh, meaning or trying to sabotage the government. So in this sense, I believe the military government should be cautious of my suggestions, because I might ultimately seek to revenge, to wipe out or to destroy Myanmar, because I do not have freedom. This is not my freedom. Whatever value you taken from me, probably what I spoken out worth millions of dollars. And you know, in Obama, when he gives speech, he actually received payment 200,000, 200,000. I believe it's $200,000 per speech uh, for Obama. And many other people actually, many other trainer actually receive more money than Obama. Obama is a president, is a former president of US. There are people who do training program, do consultations with which they receive more money, millions of dollars, by giving out speech. And also singers who perform in a stage, they receive millions of dollars per one concert, few hours, 4 5 hours concert. They receive millions or tens of millions of dollars. This is the value they created. Now if you rob me, if you do not want to pay me but you force me to give free advice, you rob me, that means you are robbing my wealth, you are robbing my intelligence property, and I'll definitely somehow find a ways to retaliate to get back my money. This is how it works in the real world. So I also urge the Myanmar government, please give freedom back to the people. This is what I can advise Myanmar government. You give the freedom back to the people, you do not need to worry. The people will work for you. The people, when they will do business, you can tax people. The government can impose tax on businesses, impose tax on wage earner that earn certain value, certain income. Certain income, when they reach certain income, you can tax them, call income, personal income tax. And businesses, you can tax them, call corporate tax. There are so many taxes they can introduce by the government. Collect the tax and then to provide a better welfare back to the people and also to the government, to the public sector. So the public sector also can thrive. Do not only depend on natural resources. I know Myanmar have a lot of gold deposit, have a lot of jade, precious stone, ruby and all that, diamond. But all this will run out one day. Use these natural resources, the oil and gas, those special metal, precious metal, such as gold and silver. Use this, convert this into asset. Convert this into, there are two types of asset. One is the human capital. Invest in human capital. That means you invest in education, invest in the people's health, build sport complexes for people so that they stay healthy, build medical center, polyclinic everywhere in Myanmar to make sure the people are healthy. When they are healthy, they have better productivity. Then they can contribute back to the society. All right. So that is a human capital. Invest in human capital and also infrastructure, basic infrastructure. Invest in these two areas, the basic area. Then when the Myanmar people are smart, healthy, they can perform. They can perform back to their best, not on a best level. Then Myanmar can thrive. And use the money to diversify the economy, not solely depend on natural resources. Diversify into tourism, into educations, building education institutions, building R&D, research, research and development center or something like that. Diversify, make the industrial sector more vibrant. And then to a state that Myanmar no longer need to depend on natural resources to thrive. Singapore do not have any natural resources, but Singapore also thrive. Singapore has one of the highest millionaire per populations in the world, the highest millionaire density in the world. So what they invest in the people. So not necessarily you need to have natural resources. Singapore is a very good example. Okay, now if you have natural resources, it's even better. You can use natural resources to diversify, to use the money to benefit the people and not controlling the money. Why? I believe why the general, the militant, the army general are controlling the natural resources is because they have the weapon, they have the firearm, but they are living in poverty. So they are using their firearm, convert the firearm into, use the firearm to control, to take over the country, to rob the country wealth, and then they want to enjoy life. This is now how it works. The country wealth, the country natural resources belong to the people. You should use the money to invest back to the people. Use the money, whether it's gold, silver, ruby, jade, or whatever, those natural resources found in Myanmar belong to Myanmar people. I think 56 million of Myanmar people belong to each and every one of them. It does not belong to the general. A general only serve as the function is only served to protect the country, to protect the natural resources, not to manage the natural resources, but protect invasions, protect people from robbing their natural resources. I give an example. In a bank, there are managers, there are directors, there are bankers, there are underwriters, there are staff who work in a bank. There are also security guard. You see, the money in the bank do not owned by the security guard. The security guard job is important, in which they need to protect the bank's money, and also the people's money that the money that people deposit in the bank. That is the security job. It is important, and this is the reason why they carry gun. You go to bank, you see the security guard carry gun, not to shoot the bank office, the bank staff, not to shoot the bank managers, not to shoot the bank customer, but to protect the bank. That is their job. Okay. And in the bank, there is bank officer, there's manager, all this to manage the money, and also the customer. The money actually belong to the people, belong to the customer. So government is akin to bank managers who manage the people's money. Okay, manage the customer money. The customer is actually the people, the client, and the security guard job is mainly to protect the bank interests. To safeguard the bank from robbery, from all sort of nonsense. So that is a job. But in the case Myanmar, the guard actually is the one that robbed the bank. Okay, they are not competent to manage the bank, and they use the gun to point at the bank manager, ask them to manage the money for them for free. All right, bank managers they are well paid. Bank managers are well paid because they manage a lot of money, and only if they are well paid, they can manage the money without corruptions. So that is this analogy. This is the analogy I would like to give. And also, I hope the army general do not meddling with politics. Politics is not as easy as what they thought. And please do not use force. Do not use violence or force or intimidate people to do job for you, to do things for you. You are not smart enough to manage a country. And it is not that you are stupid. You are actually using gun or using force to force people to do things for you. No, you must pay people. People must be voluntarily work for you. Then only people will do their best for you. That is how the world works. And also, you do not need to befriend. There is no such thing as you befriend or want to have sex or use baby to intimidate or to blackmail. I know there are few people, Ma Kok Seng, James Ma, probably also from Myanmar, also maybe undercover Myanmar militant or what, I do not know. There are many of these gay people. They are actually not gay, but they are actually selling their body or they are trying to sleep with people like me, in order to control. But I'm not gay in the first place. I'm not gay, and I do not want to be friends with them. But I know they are immune to law. They are immune to law. They also have special medicine to heal themselves. So it is very difficult for me to attack them, to counter attack, actually to protect myself, to defend myself, because these people do attack me on many occasions. I do not like any of them, honestly. If you ask me honestly, I wish all of them to die, to vanish from the earth, because what they use is violence. They use violence to control you. Nobody is happy. Nobody will live in a safe environment. Nobody can thrive if their basic safety uh, is the feeling of the safety index is not there. If they do not feel safe. This is a Maslow hierarchy. If you look at Maslow hierarchy, safety is very important. If you do not have safety, then you cannot climb up the Maslow hierarchy. You cannot manifest. You cannot unfold your potential. So that's why freedom is important. That's why people go to America, not only because it is beautiful, there's a lot of opportunity. Yes, of course, in America there's a lot of opportunity because it's an open market. It is an open market that offers freedom. You can unfold your creativity and innovations, and then only people can do business or work or whatever profession they like, do whatever they like, and then they will thrive. And when they are thrive economically, they do well economically, they can contribute back to the society, they can pay tax, they can do business, and business generate corporate tax. And then this is a good cycle. This is a very good effect. When the people is wealthy, they pay tax, and when they pay tax, the country have more money to reinvest back to the society, whether building infrastructure or what. And then the money, the salary of the public sector, the civil servant also can increase, and as a result, the entire country will be successful. Singapore is a good example. There are also many countries in Europe that offer they can be an example for Myanmar. So this is what I hope. Please do not use pheromone to just merely extract information from me. Everybody, when they contribute, they create a value. You have to pay them accordingly. If you do not pay them, they will get it back from you somehow. So please do not. There's no free lunch in this world. You offer something back. And as a public sector, you're supposed to work for the people. Public sector, those who work in the public sector called civil servant. You are a servant for the civilian. You are not a master, you are serving the country. And you do not rob the wealth. The country belongs to the people. You are serving the country, they are serving the people. Not instill fear. Not instill fear because you got firearm, you instill fear on the public. I see so many refugees in Thailand. They are from Myanmar. I watched the YouTube. I saw so many refugees. They are homeless. They are like me, no status, no legal status in Thailand or any other countries. They are fleeing the countries just because the Myanmar government robbed their freedom from them and robbed their wealth, the wealth that they own actually. So the country actually belongs to the people, not the military. Military is, like I said in the analogy, in the bank they are just a security guard. A security guard play their role to protect the bank, not to manage the bank. Not to manage the bank, as they do not have the knowledge and managerial skill necessary, and definitely they do not own the money. The money is owned by the people. Okay, and they are not able to manage the money. So please, if Myanmar are narrow-minded, they are not only causing harm to the public or actually act as a treason. We are actually betraying the country. They are also, people do not like them. The world do not want to do business with Myanmar. As a result, the business opportunity is not there. And whatever natural resources, whether you have gold, you have petroleum, you have natural gas, you cannot yield full potential. You cannot sell. You cannot sell at the market rate. You cannot let people invest. You cannot have investor. You cannot have invite foreign talent to invest, to manage for you properly. And as a result, you lost this wastage, probably a lot of wastage of, in the learning curve. If you are not smart enough to manage your resources, you will lose them. You have high wastage, and probably you cannot even produce anything. See, all this require 100 years of if not 1,000 years of knowledge, accumulated knowledge. And Myanmar alone cannot. If you are in a closed market, you are akin to China. China back in the Qing dynasty, they have a closed market. As a result, the technology, the stagnation in economy, the stagnation in the economy and technology make it unable to compete in the world. Their technology are stagnant back in those 100 over years. They are not progressing. And economy also, if they do not trade with people, if you do not trade, your value, your products, your goods and services, whatever it is, remain that value. You cannot increase. When you trade, your value will increase multiple fold. Your products, you will trade one another, and then you keep on trading, then your economy will grow. But if you close your door, you do not want to trade, or others people close their door because your authoritarian regime, then your economy will be affected. And as a result, you have to depend on those natural resources to thrive, because you are not smart. And even that, your natural resources cannot have a full potential, cannot sell at the market rate. So this is a problem I hope the general army can consider. You open your army, you open your market, you democratize your political system. Let the people rules. Let the Myanmar people take over their country, rule the country, manage the country, and let the smart people rule the country, and you pay them according to their to the value they create. Okay, professor in certain field, historian or whatever, or these engineers, architect, you pay them accordingly, and they will do their best to provide, they use their expertise, their technical skills to provide the best for the country, and then you can grow. It is not very hard. All this you can just copy from other country if you want. Not a problem. Very easy, but you have to let the professional do their job and pay them accordingly, not enslave them. Do more transparent things. Sign a contract with them, and if they're worth $1 million, you pay them $1 million. Okay, this is how economy works. Whether your country is poor or not, you have to do it, okay, step by step. I'm not asking Myanmar to suddenly grow, but the way I see Myanmar have the enough natural resources to provide the basic infrastructure, just like Dubai. Dubai do not have the technical skill, do not have the managerial skill. They have oil, but the difference is that they diversify. They trust technical person. They trust those technical guys, and then as a result, they thrive. They thrive very nice. They economically. I'm not sure what is the status right now. I have not been to Dubai for very long. I was being confined in Malaysia. I just fled Malaysia on this year April, and I've been here Thailand for a few months, and I'm actually asking help from many countries. In order to get my identity, my legal status, so that I can work, so that I can do business. And there are also problems from my mother's side, Esther Lim, because I believe my mother, Esther Lim, has been conspiring with her sibling, Tan Sri Lim Kok Thai, and all these her sibling, her side of the family to rob my inheritance. Now I do not know my mother until recently, and my mother have never helped me in any sense. Okay, I'm still living in a very poor condition despite they are billionaires, and my mother has been also attacking me. My mother has been attacking me because I'm speaking out against Malaysia. I'm speaking out for democracy and all this. So this is the kind of predicament I'm facing, the kind of challenge I'm facing. Both my biological parents, my father's side are communists. They have been attacking me, and my stepbrother also attacking me. And I do not know my grandfather, but these people, they are super rich and they are using their money to influence my surrounding. I do not know whether they pay Thai government or not, but they are influencing my surrounding. They want to control me. You see, just like that happened back then in Malaysia. They do not want to pay me anything because they know once I got money, I can have an independent life. You see, they do not want me to be independent. They want to control me. They want to enslave me. They want me to work for them for free. They want to enslave me like a communist setting. Communist setting. The ruler actually detect detect people to work for them. Like you guys, this person work for this person work that, but they do not pay them accordingly. Okay, so that is kind of the authoritarian regimes happen in my family. And the problem with Malaysia is that Malaysia government are severely corrupted. As a result, they compromise their integrity, they compromise a lot of things like my birth certificate. Even my birth certificate can be fake, and as a result, I am not able to trace them and not able to hold them responsible for the things that are done to me. So this is my problem, my challenge, and I hope those democratic countries, especially like US, please come and help Myanmar, help Malaysia. These countries are actually, the people in this country are under attack, and the government are actually betraying the country. So this is what I have to say, and I hope the government please do not enslave people anymore. Pay accordingly, recognize people first. You must sign a contract or you recognize me, then only you tell me what to do and provide and give me remunerations according to the work I contribute. Then only I'm keen to contribute. If you treat me well, of course I will treat you well. That is how the world works, how everything works. If you treat me well, you respect me, I respect you. That is how things work. And as a result, if we have a mutual benefit, then this case or this relationship will be successful. If you just want something from one party, definitely it will not yield any good result. This is what I have to say. So Myanmar have to create a conducive business environment for investor, to let the investor know it is profitable to invest in Myanmar. It is politically stable. The risk is minimum. You must restore the democracy. Then only people will invest in Myanmar. And this is what I have to say. Me included, if I want to invest in Myanmar, I have to make sure the venture is profitable. Then I will invest in Myanmar. And also politically stable. That my money, the investment in Myanmar not only profitable, but the money I can bring out of Myanmar. I can use the money to buy whatever I want. That is a freedom. If you offer freedom to people, you do not afraid people will run away. You do not need to afraid I will take the money and run away if you give freedom. But if you do not provide freedom, somehow people will find ways to exit or to leave the country. Just like me, if you do not provide me passport, just like the Malaysian government deprive my freedom, do not want to provide me passport, I will still find way to exit Malaysia. And Malaysian government do not want me to speak out about Malaysia. I will speak out about Malaysia. And in Thailand, I will not talk about Malaysia so much because it is still very near to Malaysia. But once I get out of Thailand, once I'm a bit far, and once I'm in a very secure, very safe locations, I will keep on talking about Malaysia, and I will make Malaysia government to recognize their problem, and whatever violations Malaysia government violating the constitution's law and also law, they will have to pay, they will have consequences, for the violations of the constitutions. And as well as Myanmar military government have to think decently, have to know, recognize what is their role, and not, please do not rob people freedom, please do not waste people time. There are people 5 years, 4 years, 5 years, and more than 5 years wasting their time without going to school because of the civil war in Myanmar. This loss of opportunity, especially young people, have a severe impact on Myanmar in a later stage. I do not know whether Myanmar government understand this or not. When the people are not educated, there is no point you have gold. You have a lot of gold, even the entire country is made of gold. If you do not know how to manage the gold, it's useless. People have no managerial skill, no technical skill. You are actually killing the country. The army general is killing the country, is betraying the country. Education is very important. This is the problem with the military government, because the militant or the army general might not able to think far. They are not using knowledge, they are not using their brain, and they think everybody do not need to use brain. They do not know anything about how the financial system work, how many things work. They do not know, and they merely using firearm to intimidate people. This is not how it works. So this is what I have to say. And also, please do not just want to be friend with me. I do not mind to be friend with them. I do not mind to be friend with any of you, including the army general. But not because of friendship I help Myanmar. Not because of friendship I will continue support junta government. I will not support junta government, and I never support any junta government. I never support any dictatorship or any authoritarian regime. I will not. Whether it's China, whether it's Russia, whether it's any others authoritarian regime. Okay, China is getting better actually. Russia also getting better after the Soviet Union collapse. There is a lot of reformations in there's a lot of reformations in Russia, but I believe there are still many rooms to improve, of course. And I also need to state that communist is actually not originated from China. Communist originated from Karl Marx. Okay, Karl Marx is a German. He's a German person, born in Germany, and then lived in England until his death, and it has nothing to do with China. It is because the ideology spread to Russia, and Russia spread to China. That's why China now adopting communism. So there's a lot of misconception or misunderstanding that China is communist came from China. No, communist does not come from China. Communists come from Europe, come from Germany, and Germany now they themselves do not adopt communists anymore. The East and West Germany now combine into one country called Germany, and they are actually adopting a democracy or democratic system. So this is what I have to say. I hope people understand my stand, and I hope US or whichever country that listen to my plight and can help me and can talk to me more transparent, more straightforward. I do not like twist and turn. I do speak English, although my English might not be good. My grammar probably not the best. I might have a lot of grammar mistake when I speak, but you get the message. You understand my English. Please come and talk to me, and be more transparent. I'm very transparent. I'm very straightforward, and I hope those government staff be direct to me. And please do not involve my mother. Please do not involve my mother, Esther Lim. Please do not involve Ng Bian Kiat. Ng Bian Kiat is my foster mother, pretended to be my biological mother for over 40 years. And I do not know who's my biological father, but also do not involve them. They are communists. They are from the Tan Kaki, the Tan family, And also, please do not involve my foster father, Teh Kasing. They're probably related to the Myanmar junta government. I do not have friends, I do not have family. Just come to me myself, only me. Only me, only trust me. Do not trust any other person. I do not have family. I do not have family members. All my relatives, they are actually against me because of inheritance rivalry. Okay, I want to contribute to Myanmar. Of course, I hope all the best to Myanmar. If Myanmar can return to democracy, I hope I have the opportunity to contribute to Myanmar economically. If I got money, I will definitely invest in Myanmar. If only Myanmar is a democratic country, I will definitely come, and I do not mind those suggestions that I suggested in my Facebook. I know they already hacked my phone, they already hacked my Facebook. They know what I've written in my Facebook, the messages. Please let me know if I can contribute, whether it's to build capacity, build the capacity for electric supply from 50% to 100%, build capacity for water treatment or potable water supply throughout Myanmar. Okay, also to have 100% sewage treatment capacity, and also to have broadband services across Myanmar. These are the basic things. And also agriculture. And of course I'm a business entity. I'm not only interested to provide those basic food. I actually looking for food, agriculture, crops that is profitable, like chocolate, cacao, all these tea, coffee plantation, all these are profitable. It is not necessary, but it's profitable. You do not need to drink coffee to stay alive. You do not need to drink tea to stay alive. You do not need to drink coffee or eat coffee to stay alive. But these beverages or this food is profitable. People are addicted to it. Okay, I'm a businessman. Of course, I'm looking forward to earn profit. And also, it is also good for Myanmar to have this profitable business, to have profitable business. If I can produce into a secondary industry, that means produce, say for example, I plant cacao, I produce chocolate, and then I sell worldwide. That will be profitable for Myanmar. Also, like jade, all this, I urge Myanmar government to have their jade produce, not only produce but also processed in Myanmar. Whether invite China company, they do the carving, do the processing in Myanmar, because one jade probably costs, for example, cost 10,000 US dollars, just one stone. But if you sell it to China 10,000, it is 10,000. But this 10,000, when they process in China, they carve it into bracelet, into necklace, into pendant or whatever. They increase the value multiple for it. Could become 10,000, could be selling to 1,000,000. So this increase of value, Myanmar government can actually invite those craftsmen, those craftsmen from China to Myanmar. Not only selling them the jade, but also process the jade in Myanmar and then sell the products in Myanmar. Then Myanmar can tax the jade based on the secondary or the final value of the jade, not the primary industry. The primary industry, of course, in this case is mining the jade 10,000, and then probably you can sell 1,000,000 or 10 million US dollars after processing. So 10,000, if you tax 10%, 10,000 only $1,000. But if you process into a valuable jewelry, probably 1,000,000. So 1,000,000, you do not need to tax 10%. You tax 5%, also a few hundred times more than 1,000. So this is the logic. Process in your country, and then you sell it off. Invite people to come, but before you invite people to come, you must give people freedom. You must let people assure that their company, when they invest in Myanmar, they have freedom. they have freedom, they can bring back the money and they will pay you the tax, and then you can profit from the tax. Surely you can profit from the tax. Okay, this is my message to Myanmar.